What's up, guys, and welcome to another predictions video. But first, I just gotta say something. This is me explaining myself for why I haven't been uploading recently. Yesterday was the first day of school for me. It sucks, I know, because it means I'm not gonna be uploading as much. But the good news about that is my school, I'm not gonna say that because that's just a bad idea overall. The way my school is doing things, I only have to go 2 days a week. So, obviously on days when I'm not going, that means it's virtual school, and technically, I should be in gym right now, but the whole virtual gym thing is weird, so I'm not doing that, and instead I'm recording this for y'all. That's a long intro, so let's just get started with my picks. Alright, so first up, we got the Cincinnati Bengals against the Cleveland Browns. This is the Thursday night game. The Bengals, they almost beat the Chargers, in week 1. Their kicker, whose name I can't remember right now, he choked on a game-winning field goal. And they were super close. Joe Burrow had like a rushing touchdown in his NFL debut, and overall, is living up to the hype so far. But the Browns, I mean, they're still a really talented team, and they're at home. Even though that doesn't matter too much, I don't know if the Browns are going to have fans or not. But I don't know. Even though the Bengals have some good veterans on their roster, like AJ Green and Geno Atkins, most of their good players are young, and they don't have experience dealing with the talent that this Browns defense has, which is why I'm going to pick them. I think it'll be close. Very, very close. And then, oh boy, the Bills and the Dolphins. As a Dolphins fan, I did not like what I saw at all last week. Ryan Fitzpatrick threw for 3 interceptions and 0 TDs. So I'm not going to turn this into a rant. I'm just going to say one thing. I have to see Tua Tagovailoa in this game. But whether it's Tua or Ryan Fitzpatrick, we're losing. And it's just going to be a matter of me being mad or mad, really. Because no one wants to be 0-2. And then we got the Denver Broncos and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Both of these teams played last night. The Broncos lost on a Stephen Gostkowski field goal with 25 seconds left. So that's heartbreaking. The Steelers, they blew out the Giants after being down, and I'm gonna pick the Steelers in this game. Just because, just like with the Bengals, this is a pretty young Broncos team, especially without Von Miller, likely for the entire season. It's gonna be tough for them to win this game in Pittsburgh, even though there's no such thing as home field advantage, really. And then we got the Jaguars and the Titans. The Jaguars kind of shocked everybody by beating the Colts. Wait, did they beat the Colts? Yeah, I forgot who they played. But they kind of shocked everybody, and Gardner Minshew is just building on the legend at this point. But, y'all, this Titans team, it hasn't regressed. Ryan Tannehill isn't looking to be getting any worse. He threw for like 250 yards and 2 touchdowns in their game last night. So I'm picking the Titans by at least 2 scores here. And then we got the Kansas City Chiefs against the Los Angeles Chargers. It'll be the Chargers' first game in SoFi Stadium. Now, they survived against the Bengals, but they ain't beating the Chiefs. Let's be for real. Patrick Mahomes, he's getting better. It's crazy to say this, but yes, he is getting better. And that is just wraps for the entire league, basically. Now the Baltimore Ravens against the Houston Texans. And give credit to the Texans, though. They, at multiple points of the Thursday night game last week, they were in it from when they were actually up and still like not getting blown out to when Deshaun Watson had that rushing touchdown towards the end. But this is not a good second week for the 0-1 Texans, and I think they're going to fall to 0-2. Lamar Jackson, he's still doing his thing. Had like 3 TDs and 200-something yards against the Browns week 1. So, yeah. Expect another great performance. And then we got the Vikings and the Colts. When I did my official predictions, which, sorry, I didn't upload those. I didn't even record them. I legit spent like 12 minutes trying to figure out who would win this game. But now it's pretty clear to me that the Vikings are going to win. And I'm sorry to all the Colts fans. Marlon Mack is done for the season, and that is just devastating. Because they had like a nice little two-headed monster thing going with him and Jonathan Taylor. But now they're going to have to rely entirely on the rookie, who has talent, and he definitely has some experience being like a volume rusher. At Wisconsin, like the main reason he got all those stats was because they just gave him the ball every time. So it's not like he's not going to know what he's doing, but really, for the first game where you're going to be getting a lot of touches to go against the Vikings, who just picked up Yannick Ngakoue, that's going to be tough. And we got the 49ers against the Jets. Now, the 49ers, they lost last week to the Cardinals, but this team that made the Super Bowl last year, I know there's been so much talk about these guys regressing, but I don't know. Maybe there's some regression with this team, but do you think they're going to be down at the level where they're losing to the Jets? Good answer. They're not. And then we got the Patriots and the Seahawks, a rematch of Super Bowl 49. I hate to pour salt on y'all wounds, Seahawk fans. I was pretty mad too. But, yeah. Cam Newton, I know it was against the Dolphins, so I don't really love to talk about it. But I have to say, that was an amazing first game by Cam Newton. It's his first game in like a year, all the injuries, and yet he's still playing at a good level. And I'm kind of a fan of this new Patriots offense with all the designed QB runs and RPOs. It is definitely better than just the short runs and slants to Julian Edelman that they've been running for the past 20 years or so. But I'm going to pick the Seahawks because, let's face it, they're just a better team. And then we got the New Orleans Saints against the Oakland Raiders. The Raiders pulled out a close one against the Panthers last week. Fantasy owners that had Josh Jacobs on their team were certainly pleased. But so were a lot of people that had like Drew Brees. Even though he didn't have the best stat line, he still led the Saints to victory. Michael Thomas, though, he did sprain his ankle, and we don't know if he's going to be available for this game. But the Raiders have one of the worst defenses in the league. I'm sorry, Las Vegas fans. I may have said Oakland. I don't know. But y'all defense is just hot garbage. And so the Saints are going to take this dub here. And now we got the Giants against the Bears. Like I said, the Giants, they were up 10-3 on the Pittsburgh Steelers last night. And then they had that, 19-play drive. But then Daniel Jones made a terrible decision and let Cameron Hayward get an interception. That's just going to happen with young players, though. And young players don't usually fare too well against this veteran, talented Chicago defense. Khalil Mack is my pick for Defensive Player of the Year this year. He's playing with a chip on his shoulder because last year and his entire tenure with the Bears so far, he hasn't been his 2016 DPOY form. And I think he's going to return to that and potentially even better. And then we got the Panthers and the Buccaneers. Oh boy. I know Bucs fans out there might be worrying, but this is what happens when you have like this new team. This new Buccaneers team, especially the offense, they've never played a game together. So you got to be patient. And the Panthers, even though they took 7 defensive players, I think that Tom Brady and his new teammates, especially Rob Gronkowski, look for him to have more than one catch. I think they'll find some sort of a rhythm and win this game. They won't be at their best yet. I think that in like week 4, they're really going to start getting into a groove. But this is week 2 I'm doing here. So that's not week 4, obviously. And now we got the Atlanta Falcons against the Dallas Cowboys. Matt Ryan, though. Man. Shout out to Matty Ice. He had 450 passing yards against whatever team they were playing. Let me go check. The Seahawks. But they still lost the game. They're not going to make that same mistake. The Cowboys here are going to drop to 0-2. They had 3 injuries against the Rams. Leighton Vander Esch, Blake Jarwin, and Cameron Irving. Although that last one is sort of irrelevant. Those first 2, they hurt. Those certainly hurt. They're key players for the Cowboys, and that's one of the reasons why they aren't going to win this game. And then we got the Rams and the Eagles. The Eagles got upset by the football team last week. It's not really a good sign. And Carson Wentz got sacked 8 times. And I saw this meme that said Carson Wentz is going to be dead by week 4. And it just showed him lying on the floor just looking so depressed. And so without Brandon Brooks, that tells me this year that the Eagles, they're going to struggle against a heavy pass rush. And when you're playing the Rams, you're screwed. The Rams are starting to look a lot like that Super Bowl team now that the offensive line is healthier and playing like that 2018 version. Jared Goff, he had a nice game and really a make or break season to ensure that he doesn't get traded in the offseason or something. So, yeah, give me the Rams here. And then we got the Detroit Lions against the Green Bay Packers. And holy crap, Devontae Adams, 14 catches. That is tied for the most in Green Bay Packers history, and he didn't even know it. If y'all play ESPN Fantasy, you will know that Devontae Adams had over 40 fantasy points. That's absolutely insane. I think when that game ended, that was as many points as one of my teams had. And they're going to keep that going. They were probably the best at throwing the long ball in the first week. I don't know. I didn't watch the Titans game, but seeing as it ended in a final score of 16-13, I'm guessing not. Yeah, expect Aaron Rodgers to keep it going here against the Lions secondary that really only has Jeffrey Okudah. And this will probably be a blowout. And now we got the Washington football team and the Arizona Cardinals, 2 teams that pulled off upsets last week. But the Cardinals, they got this one. They're so much more talented. DeAndre Hopkins, obviously. Who is going to guard D-Hop on that Washington defense? I honestly don't know, but if they double team him, Larry Fitzgerald is still a solid option, and then they got Christian Kirk, and of course there's Kyler Murray, the little guy who you gotta watch because he will take off and you'll never see him again. Alright, so that's my predictions. Let's take a look at the projected standings as of my mock week 2. So, in the AFC, we got the Ravens in the top seed, as you might expect. Then, in the NFC, you got the Arizona Cardinals as the 1 seed. They're sort of a surprise team, even though they might make the playoffs. They wouldn't be the 1 seed. And then we got the Saints as the 2 seed. That's to be expected. But over here, we got the Titans over the Chiefs and Bills. I predicted that it be 1, 2, 3. So, but again, I mean, all of these teams are 2-0. It's just this website. They have and the NFL, they got their tie-breaking procedures. So yeah, this would be like my top 4 in the AFC. So it's staying pretty normal out there. But then the Washington football team at number 4, still in there after beating the Eagles. And then we got the Seahawks and the Chicago Bears, who I definitely didn't have making it. And then the Los Angeles Rams are sort of a 50-50. But maybe I'm leaning more towards they make the playoffs this year. Who knows? And then to finish out the AFC, we got the Steelers and the Patriots at 5 and 6. 2 teams that have high chances to make the playoffs. It's just the Patriots. They got a tough schedule, and that's probably the main thing potentially keeping them out of the playoffs this year. I love the new playbook. I'm just gonna say that. And then we got the Jaguars at 1 and 1 and the final seed. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this, be sure to leave a like. And if I see that this video is doing well, when week 3 rolls around, I'll do picks for y'all on this same thing, so you can see my projected standings as they develop, and maybe I'll start like keeping track of my record and stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna stop recording now. I was gonna think of something to say, but I couldn't. So bye.